Swadika, good morning. Welcome to Newsline. It's August 12, 2015. Happy Mother's Day, everyone. Today marks Her Majesty the Queen's 83rd birthday anniversary. Newsline and our team wish Her Majesty the Queen good health and longevity. All right, now it's time to have a look at their news. You're watching Newsline. I'm Cholapansa Narula, and in today's Thailand Moves Forward, the Thai Prime Minister has assured that the country's new police chief will be appointed before the end of this week. Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha said the appointment of new senior government officials to succeed those who will be retiring at the end of September will be completed next week. According to General Prayut, one of the positions that will be filled is at the Royal Thai Police, as Police General Somyot Phumpanmuang will retire this year, and that this decision will be made on August 14th. The Prime Minister has affirmed that he has full authority to decide who will take up the vacant position. Regarding the appointment of the new Army Chief, the Prime Minister said that such a process would be handled by a responsible committee, while asking the media not to try to suggest that his brother, General Pricha Chan-o-cha, would be considered for the top post at the Royal Thai Army. The Cabinet has voiced concerns over the agricultural water situation in the 2016 crop year and suggested the public closely monitor water-related information. The Cabinet also expressed readiness to consider more assistance measures for farmers. After the Cabinet meeting, Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha said drought was still a concern since the current water levels in reservoirs has just slightly increased. The Prime Minister instructed the Ministry of Interior to use 10 million baht from the budget of each drought-affected province to hire farmers in projects to mitigate drought. The Ministry of Agriculture and cooperatives were tasked with promoting cultivation of the crops which are suitable for each area and helping reduce agricultural cost of production. The Ministry of Finance, meanwhile, will compensate the drought-affected farmers by 1,113 baht a rai. The Cabinet also agreed to allow the private sector to participate in the government's crop subsidy program in order to increase the guaranteed price from 1,113 baht per rai to 3,000 up to 4,000 baht per rai. In our next news, the government has continued with the humanitarian program to help flood victims in Myanmar. Deputy Government Spokesperson Major General Wirachon Sukhontapatipak said that the weekly Cabinet meeting has been informed about the meeting between Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha and Ambassador of Myanmar to Thailand, Wana Muang Luin, to discuss the flood situation in Myanmar. Ambassador Luin has updated General Prayut that the inundation has continued and taken more lives while causing severe damages to millions of acres of land. He also stated that Myanmar is not only in need of money, but also many other things such as tents, dry food, drinking water, and medical supplies, while Prime Minister Prayut has promptly ordered a medical team to prepare to fly to help flood victims. The Deputy Government spokesman said that the Prime Minister also ordered the Foreign Ministry to stand by to work with Myanmar for any further assistance which might be needed. In addition, the Defence Minister will be working with the Office of the Prime Minister's Office to set up a new centre to collect donations from the public. He also revealed that yesterday's meeting approved a draft bill pertaining to tour guides and tour operators.
The Cabinet today approved a draft Act concern on national standard for tour guide and tour operator. The draft covers several issues, including the guidelines for granting the tour guide license, protective measures for travelers on cancellation policy, and the suspension of license when regulations have been violated by a tour operator. This is the part of government's effort to improve the standard of Thailand tourism, to be on par with international standards, and to effectively provide protection for tourists and visitors in this country. Cabinet today also approved the results of consultation between the civil aviation agencies of Thailand and Japan including the notes of exchange between Thailand and Japan on these matters. The consultation included several key issues such as air routes, air cargo, frequencies of flights, and the aviation safety standards. This consultation will be important for expanding air travel between both countries in the future.
The Cabinet has agreed to a 3-year extension of the measure to give tax deductions to people who donate money for sport development. Following its weekly meeting, Deputy Government Spokesperson Major General Sansan Kaew said the Cabinet consented to a draft royal decree offering tax deductions for monetary donors to sport promotion for 3 more years. Proposed by the Ministry of Finance, the extension will take effect from January 1st, 2016 to December 31st of the year 2018. In order to be tax deductible, the donations must be made to the Sports Authority of Thailand or its provincial offices, the Department of Physical Education, or the National Sports Development Fund. Donors are entitled to tax deduction of twice as much as their contribution, but not exceeding 10% of their net income. The maintenance of the tax deduction measure is estimated to help the government save on its the sport promotion expenses by more than 1.2 billion baht each year. The Permanent Secretary to the Prime Minister's Office, Mom Luang Panadda Disakun, gave lectures on good governance to 300 high school students of the Ratana Tibet School in Nonthaburi Province. The lecture, Youths and Their Role in Creating Unity in the Thai Society, was given after the Permanent Secretary to the Prime Minister's Office unveiled the Thailand Moves Forward campaign promoting unity and national reform at the school. Mom Luang Panadda explained the duties of the National Legislative Assembly and the Constitution Drafting Committee to the students. He then urged them to be outstanding citizens in accordance with parliamentary democracy under the constitutional monarchy. And the Constitution Drafting Committee has reached a conclusion on the origin and the composition of the Senate under the new charter. The Constitution Drafting Committee, or CDC spokesman, General Ratana Wanit, said that the charter drafters already resolved to maintain the proportion of appointed and elected senators as originally stated in Article 118 of the draft Constitution. In the original draft, there will be 200 senators whose maximum term will be 6 years and no one can stay more than 2 consecutive terms. He added that out of this number, 77 senators will each be elected by each province, while the remaining 123 senators will be appointed from 4 main groups, including noted experts, professional groups, former military officers and civil servants, and representatives from various organizations and agencies. The selection committee for the senators will be set up according to the organic law that is yet to be drafted. On the office of the Secretariat of the House of Representatives has held a ceremony to commemorate the 83rd birthday anniversary of Her Majesty Queen Sirikit. Inaugurated by Secretary General Tere Panprung, the ceremony was attended by officials of the Secretariat. Mr. Tere paid respect to the image of Her Majesty and placed ceremonial candles and a bouquet at the foot of the image. The officials then sang commemorative songs and offered blessings to Her Majesty the Queen. Meanwhile, Suvarnabhumi Airport is hosting an event to commemorate the 83rd birthday anniversary of Her Majesty as well. The opening ceremony held a recital of commemorative blessings to Her Majesty and sang songs in praise. The airport also had an area for the public to pay their respects to an image of Her Majesty and held an exhibition of the life and works of Her Majesty the Queen, showcasing her good deeds to the public as well as to tourists traveling through the airport. The event is also held to celebrate Her Majesty's 83rd birthday anniversary as well as to express the love and loyalty to Her Majesty by the Thai people. Both Thais and foreigners are invited to the exhibition, which will take place until August 19th at Suvarnabhumi International Airport. The National Broadcasting and Telecommunications Commission, or NBTC, has expressed confidence the auctioning of spectrums for 4G services will take place before the end of the year. According to the NBTC, input on the auction has been sought from representatives of telecom business and the civic sector, academics, and other stakeholders. Civic sector representatives have voiced concerns over service quality and potentially higher fees. Meanwhile, telecom businesses have urged the NBTC to revise the current 60 MHz limit on each operator's bandwidth, as the limit could become a hindrance to businesses. NBTC Secretary General Thakon Tantasit expressed confidence that auctions for the 900 MHz band, which will commence by December 15th of this year. He explained that the input gathered from the various sectors will be presented to the NBTC's board by September and will be announced in the Government Gazette. Meanwhile, proposals over the 1,800 MHz band will be deliberated by the NBTC on August 26 and will be announced in the Government Gazette by the end of August if the proposals are approved by the board. And that's it for today's edition of Thailand Moves Forward. Let's take a quick look at the exchange rates and commodity prices. After that, we'll take a short break, and Newsline will be back with ASEAN and beyond. Stay with us.
To maintain a strong nation, Thailand is promoting 12 core values for the good of the people. First among them, to uphold the three pillars: the nation, religion, and the monarchy.
How could you do that to me? Stop it! Huh? Don't you get it? I don't need you anymore. Enough! We're through. There's someone else in my life.
Say no to the past. Bring your own bag. Say no to plastic.
Swadee krab, this is Thailand at large.
The show which is about to take you to the new experiences with the exciting stories.
With charming fascination. With a touch of Thainess.
Join us on NBT World.
Explore with us and you'll know and love Thailand even more than before.
Multiple perspectives, insightful commentary on Thailand with The Insider every Sunday morning at 10:30 on NBT and NBT World.
Welcome back. You're watching Newsline. Southeast Asia is one of the fastest growing and most dynamic regions in the world. August 8, 2015 was the 48th anniversary of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, the organization that represents and unites the region. Kun Niranut Traichakwanit takes a look at the importance of ASEAN.
Under the motto of One Vision, One Identity, One Community, ASEAN has drawn strength from its diversity and established a sense of shared purpose. The Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, has brought together 10 diverse countries with a combined population of over 600 million people. 48 years ago, 5 leaders, the foreign ministers of Indonesia, Malaysia, the Philippines, Singapore, and Thailand, sat down together in the main hall of the Department of Foreign Affairs building in Bangkok and signed a document known as the ASEAN Declaration. The document declared the establishment of an association for regional cooperation among the countries of Southeast Asia to be known as the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN. Secretary General of ASEAN, His Excellency Lê Duong Minh, said that the ASEAN community is comprised of 3 pillars: the political security community, economic community, and socio-cultural community, which he explains in further detail.
You know, by the end of this year, we are going to launch the ASEAN community, and at the same time, we are developing a vision for ASEAN to continue the process of community consolidation, integration, which would be a process more comprehensive and a process which would ensure that we have concerted, balanced, and sustained progress on all 3 pillars of the community, including the very important social cultural pillar.
ASEAN's aim and purpose is to enhance economic, social, cultural, technical, and educational cooperation in the promotion of regional peace and stability through abiding respect for justice and the rule of law. I'm Niranut Traichakwanit reporting.
23 Thai youths are showing off their skills at the World Skills 2015 competition in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and are expected to win in several categories. Department of Skill Development Director General Mom Luang Puntarik Samiti said that 23 youths from Thailand are now competing in 21 categories of the skills competition. They are expected to win awards in several categories, especially in automatic milling, welding technology, mold design, and assembly. The World Skills Competition takes place every 2 years and is the world's biggest vocational education and skills event. During the contest, participants will demonstrate both individual and collective technical abilities to perform specific tasks for which they have studied and are expected to perform in the future as part of their work. The event is ongoing and will conclude on August 16th. In other international news now, China devalued the yuan on Tuesday after a run of poor economic data, guiding the currency to its lowest point in almost 3 years in a move it billed as free market reform. The central bank described it as a one-off depreciation of nearly 2% based on a new way of managing the exchange rate that better reflected market forces, but economists said the timing suggested it was also aimed at helping exporters. Data released at the weekend show that China's exports tumbled 8.3% in July, hit by weaker demand from 3 huge trading partners, including Europe, the United States, and Japan. The devaluation was condemned by U.S. lawmakers from both parties as a grab for an unfair export advantage and could set the stage for testy talks when Chinese President Xi Jinping visits Washington next month, given acrimony over issues ranging from cybersecurity to Beijing's territorial ambitions. Greece's creditor institutions have achieved a bailout deal in principle, and now a political assessment will be made. a European Commission spokeswoman said on Tuesday. Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker would hold talks with German Chancellor Angela Merkel and French President François Hollande, and had spoken with Greek Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras and also German Finance Minister Wolfgang Schäuble on Monday. The deal, which came after 23 hours of talks that continued through the night, must still be adopted by Greece's parliament and by Eurozone countries. The currency bloc's finance ministers are expected to give their approval on Friday, in time for Greece to make a crucial €3.2 billion debt repayment that falls due next week. The agreement gives Greece some respite after a turbulent year marked by acrimonious talks with lenders, the imposition of capital controls, and a 3-week shutdown of its banks before Athens capitulated last month to creditors' demands for deep austerity measures in order to receive new loans. And scuffles broke out on Tuesday among migrants on the Greek island of Kos, where overwhelmed authorities are struggling to cope with the arrival of hundreds of people on its shores every day. There were chaotic scenes outside Kos Stadium as hundreds of migrants fought to be registered. Many complained that the authorities had been unable to provide them with essentials including water, shelter, food and sanitation. As the crowd surged forward towards the door, a woman passed out in the heat, while another man appeared to collapse. Young children sobbed and clung to their families. Mohammed Sharif, who fled his native Syria, described conditions on the island as third world. The United Nations Refugee Agency has called on Greece to take control of the total chaos on Mediterranean islands, where thousands of migrants have landed. Syrian migrant Sattam al-Badr had been queuing since dawn to secure the registration, which will allow him to leave the island and travel to the Greek capital, Athens. The UNHCR estimates Greece has received more than 107,000 refugees and migrants this year, more than double its 43,500 intake of 2014. The refugee agency said about 124,000 have arrived this year by sea, many via Turkey, and is calling on Greece and the European Union to act to end the crisis. Greece's Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras said last week that his country's infrastructure simply cannot handle the thousands of migrants landing on its shores from places like war-torn Syria and Afghanistan, and needs EU's help. On a lighter note, as summer heat hits the country, animals in a South Korean zoo managed to stay cool with ice food and cold showers. The temperature reached 32 degrees Celsius on Tuesday at Seoul Grand Park Zoo in Gwacheon, south of Seoul. Elephants tucked into huge ice blocks with various fruits and ice watermelons thrown into pool. Siberian tigers were fed with iced beef liver. Ringtail lemurs and orangutans had fun with blocks of frozen fruit hung on their play facilities. Park Sunduk, an animal husbandry manager at the zoo, said it is important to provide special treats like ice food to animals during the hot summer. Watching animals eating ice food has become one of the zoo's most popular attractions in South Korea. And the elephants are enjoying their watermelons as well. And that's it for today's edition of Newsline. Thank you very, very much for joining us this morning on the National Mother's Day. If you do have any suggestions or comments, please write to us. The email address is newsline.nbt@gmail.com. You can also visit our website, thainews.prd.go.th/en. Today we say goodbye, taking you to Chiang Rai as a hill tribe people in Chiang Rai rehearses for the Bike for Mount activity, which will take place nationwide this upcoming Sunday. I'm Cholapan Sanarula. Have a great day. Sawasdee ka.